We as humans tend to cling on to what we see as comfortable, and a lot of the times that's what we're familiar with. And so that leads to many of us clinging on to things that have already run their course in our life. For example, we continue watering plants that have already been dead, whether that be relationships, whether that be opportunities, whether that be things that we ourselves used to do, hobbies, things like that. And I feel like that leads to a lot more unhappiness than we really do need. I see a lot of people suffering after having lost somebody, saying that they're going through a storm. And I'm not talking death because death is an entirely separate pain and grief than its own, but I'm meaning mistakes that you've done that have caused people to leave, or simply just another person not wanting to be in your life. I see these people talking about the storm that they're going through, having been left by these people or having to leave these people. Majority of the times, the storm that you go through is one that you yourself cause. Many times, there is really not much going around you, rather, you are the one that is essentially acting as the catalyst for the quote unquote storm that you have going on in your life. I believe life is a matter of perspective, and once you start tweaking these things in order to prioritize your own joy, to prioritize your own peace, you start seeing the banality in things like holding on to whatever's already gone. People come and go. Life and death is a cycle that is a must biologically. And so, with that being the reality, you can't continue allowing yourself to be stepped over. You also can't continue desperately clinging on to things that do not want to be in your life or shouldn't be in your life. We continuously see people running back to those that have hurt them, running back to those that have done nothing but harm to them. And we wonder why people can be so foolish. When in reality, it's just a longing to be at peace. It's just a longing to have some sort of familiarity in their life. People say that the biggest fear is the fear of the unknown, and there's nothing more unknown than what comes after losing what you once knew and once held dearly. And so I just encourage you guys to let go. Let go of whatever shouldn't be in your life. Let go of whatever has already left your life. The only thing that will ever stay with you until the day that you die is yourself and God. And those two things will absolutely never change. Maybe yourself, I lied, but God will never change. And so stop letting yourself get stepped over. There's a difference between forgiving and just being foolish. There's a difference between being meek and humble and just being a plain old dingus. You do not deserve to have anybody in your life that brings you negativity, that brings you any sort of harm. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize yourself, and if that means letting go to what you once held dearly, go do it. And the same goes for those that are trying to better themselves. Let go of those habits that you had. You cannot gain anything without losing something as well. You have to make space for other things in order so that they fit. Hello? You gotta take out them old little pictures that you used to have so you can fit in some new swag. Um, and yes, this is easier said than done because letting go of things that we've been doing our entire life quite literally feels like our kryptonite. However, it is doable, though not by your own strength, rather by clinging on to God. Addictions, tendencies like, man, whacking out stuff, man, lusting, going for women, all these things are things that we're comfortable with, that we've done almost our entire lives. That's what makes it so difficult. These things have been festering, being parasites and sucking our life away from us for years. They've anchored themselves in our lives. However, we've become freed following the death of Jesus Christ. And so, we're losing a battle that's already won. That don't make sense, right? It's about intentionality, it's about discernment, and it's about simply just choosing to be wise. Pray for these things, move forward in life, leave behind whatever you need to leave behind so that you can look towards the future. Don't let there be a ball and chain hanging on to you when you were the one that has the keys. Um, I love y'all. Stay safe. Y'all are goated.